When we talk about what a trailblazer is, it's usually associated with the words pathfinder, pioneer, or vanguard. So how about we add change agent to that? Welcome to TrailBlazerz Radio, a unique podcast platform that speaks about a myriad of subjects. We are not afraid of opening closed doors, and we always tell it like it is, period. We are accessible on various social media platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We're also accessible on various streaming audio platforms such as Spotify, Google Podcasts, and so much more. It is our mission to ensure that you are educated, entertained, and edified. And we thank you for tuning in to us.
That's Hunter.
Yeah. Mr. Angry Man is back. I'm back. That's right. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Nah. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Yes. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. United we fall, divided we rise. That's all they ever see when they look in our eyes. I ain't the least bit surprised, and I don't even ask why. I study, looking for love, and all we get is despise. They prophet lying, what? Meaning they falsely prophesying, talking about we really living, but we steadily dying. Tired of mothers crying, damn, and fathers silently raging. There's gotta be a way to escape this situation now. Yup. Come on. Verse 2, who search for brighter days to escape the maladies, giving homage to the folks that passed away. I speak life with the words I say, and that's the weapon I use to keep the evil at bay. I don't play when it comes to mine. My rhymes speak of a revolution this time. It's by design, and I'ma drop these deposits. So if you scared, take your ass to the closet. Why? Let me tell you this. Let's go. I got one more verse for you. Get them off of that verse. Listen to me now. Verse 3. I drop gems, representing lugs and Timbs with backpacks. I got props like Black Moon, they want effect like Dimes. I'm pouring mic like Nas. I'm the southern playalistic cat that beat them odds. I'm coming out hard. We coming out hard. Yes, sir. Y'all didn't know that I can rock like that. Ha. One time for your mind. Representing for the deuce. That's right. Put it down for the deuce tray. Let's go. Mr. Angry Man. Haha. Peace.
That's Hunter.
Yeah. Mr. Angry Man is back. I'm back.
I did not want to loop that. Oh my goodness. Good gracious Lord have mercy. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to TrailBlazerz Radio. I am your host, Mr. Frederick B. Thank you so much for tuning in to us tonight. We appreciate your listenership and your viewership. We're so grateful and we're so thankful for you guys to be hanging out with us tonight, man. And I'm excited because I'm really excited about this show because it's been a minute since I've had an independent artist on the platform to talk about their music and their life and everything else in between. But before we even get to that, man, I want to thank you. So first of all, just follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. We got a YouTube channel, man. Make sure you follow us on our YouTube channel. Take a look at our content. And if any of that stuff, any of our content appeals to you or resonates with you, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell notification so you'll be notified on when we put up shows like this. We're also on all your audio streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere where there's audio streaming platforms. We're also on Rumble. So I have been uploading some of our videos to Rumble, but I'm also thinking about kind of moving some of our content over there, but that'll be an announcement done in a later time. But anyway, thank you guys so very much for being here tonight. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Not me. We appreciate it. And again, I'm excited to have this wonderful, talented young lady in the building, man, with us, man. So let's go ahead and skip the peripheries, and let me just go ahead and just give you a brief rundown of this talented young lady right here, man. So first and foremost, she is an American music artist that is whose base of operations is in Illinois. Um, she infuses she infuses tongue tied today. She infuses old R&B sound with her own musical touch, which brings about a new vibe to this generation. Um, she is a powerful writer as well as a singer, as well as a powerful vocalist. Um, she had we got a song in here that we're gonna talk about tonight, and I'm so excited to have her in the building. So, ladies and gentlemen, please y'all give a warm welcome to Illinois-based recording artist NEF.
Hey,
Hey, my
guys.
sister, how are you?
I'm doing real good today. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you. So, first of all, thank you for taking the time out of your Monday for being with us. I'm appreciative of that.
Thank you for having me. It feels good to be here.
Oh yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. So, Chicago-based, huh?
Yes. Well, um, I spent majority of my time in Chicago. I've just recently moved out to Indianapolis,
Ooh.
where so I'm like running back and forth, back and forth.
So that's so is that a big change or not really?
It is a big change, even though I predominantly grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, so I'm
Mm,
used to like a slower pace. But Indianapolis is even slower than that. um,
wow.
yeah, it's different, but at the same time, it has its gems like the land and the peace of mind.
Mm.
You know, can't pay for that, and it gives. So I run back and forth when I'm doing business. I go to the busy city, and when I'm ready to go home, I chill out in Indy.
There you go. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So have you because now you're kind now you're out of now you're in Indiana now you're in Indianapolis, Indiana. Are you have you integrated yourself with the independent music scene there?
I have not. I'm working on it. I'm working on trying to branch out because I do recognize that in this town, like they need somebody like me on their airwaves. So that is something I look forward to doing in the near future. You know,
Mm.
definitely, most definitely.
So let's talk about a little bit who you are. Um, Music. Where does love of music come from?
Where does my love of music?
Yeah.
Um, I can't. I believe it came with me when I got here. Because as long as I can remember, it's been there. I don't remember a time where it wasn't. Um, I remember doing the group dances and like wanting to be the Jackson Five and wanting to. I was a mockingbird for every artist, black, white,
Mm.
Indian. Like music didn't have a color to me. It just when I heard it, if it was good, I wanted to. I was just a mockingjay and a mockingbird. And eventually out of that, like my mom put all of me and my sisters, we all had piano lessons. We all had like a taste of music in some way.
Mhm.
So I've been playing piano since I was about 4 or 5 years old. And so from there on out, I just started writing my own music on the piano. And I just found myself within mocking other people, you
Mm.
know?
I like
So
that.
yeah, it was crazy. Self-taught, definitely.
Self-taught is a good thing. I mean, now a lot of like me, like because I'm a writer too. So there are people that influence me. Who do you consider your musical influences?
Mm. That's a hard one because it's so many. Like um Mariah Carey, Tony Braxton, In Vogue,
Ooh,
Rod, Rod Stewart.
you swinging for the fences early.
When I tell you like Diana Ross, um, Prince, Michael Jackson. Like these are the things. These are my roots. This is
Mm,
where my mental stem from. So as I grew older, and then you got Monica, you got Brandy coming out, you got, and then it moves. You got Beyonce, you got Ariana Grande. So it's like it's moving forward. Demi Lovato, and as the ages move, my influence is all the music around me. Like it's not just one person. So I'm just taking in all this music and I'm just pushing out like my inspiration through I'm living through my life inspiration.
mm,
I'm living through other people's lives. Like I'm
mm.
just I'm just holding information and pushing it out.
You mentioned a lot. You mentioned a lot of heavy hitters right off the top. You mentioned Monica, Mariah Carey, Diana Ross, Rod Stewart. You mentioned a lot of those heavy hitters off the top, and I think that a lot of artists are influenced by them in some way, shape, or form, even if it's a small bit. It's not. It may not be their style that they emulate, but it may be the way that they approach songwriting and song crafting, or maybe it's the
Yeah.
way they perform. They want to
Yeah.
want to emulate the performance, or at least emulate it and then add their own flavor to it. So you mentioned heavy hitters off the top, really, really off the top. I mean, in Vogue. I mean, how
Man.
and this is something that came to my mind. How important is it to kind of give homage to those guys, those people, the people that you mentioned that paved the way before you?
Oh man. And it's so important because this new generation is so fast paced. Right.
Mm,
Everything is so the blink of an eye. People they can't even sit down for a 3-minute video anymore. They want clips
nope,
and blips. So it's easy to lose your foundation of where everything came from in this
gotcha.
new place. So it's like I feel like paying homage is just to say like your favorite song actually isn't just your favorite. Like it didn't come from this person. It came from this person who built off of this person. Like this is a build of like 30 years of music all in one track that you're listening to right now. You think it's this person. So it's like it's our history. It's the history that I care about.
Mm,
I'm a terrible history person. Like I got D's all my elementary and history. And I mean when I tell you I studied just to get a D, okay? That was a step up from an F what I was getting before. But it was because I didn't feel it was my history. I didn't connect to that what they were teaching.
right,
And music, it was my history. It was like Bob Marley and like you see all of this greatness and you're watching it and you're hearing it. You don't have to just see it, but you hear it. Like it ignites your soul. And so I'm like, I just was flocking to it. I just wanted to know.
right. And you mentioned Bob Marley, so a very, very influential artist in his time. Um, he is an artist that I've listened to, continue to listen to even now, because a lot of the music that he made back then is so relevant today. It speaks to the times that we live in. And you mentioned something about our history. You know, a lot of them. I think a lot of the music that we've heard, especially that you and we've heard as individuals, as kids, and then as adolescents, and now as adults. It just to me everything is circular. Everything's circular, from fashion to music to everything else.
Yep,
Everything's
it
circular.
always comes back around.
Yeah. So the style that Chuck Berry had back in the day, that's gonna come back around.
See? Yes. Oh my
So
God. It's almost like you be like, how did this person have this exact voice? Like it was almost like the original birthed this new person.
yeah.
Sometimes you see these replicas and it's not. It's just like an energy that it's a circle. It's gonna come back around. The
Oh
energy.
yeah.
And so
And
I'm totally with you on that shoot. Look at who was that? Cher? No, Stevie Nicks and
yep.
Miley Cyrus. Have you heard the similarities in the the the
Yes,
soul of their voices.
yes.
You know,
I love Stevie Nicks.
I love Stevie. I could just close my eyes and listen to her. I used to so I used to sleep with headphones on. I'm actually partially deaf.
Wow.
Because I blew my eardrums out. Like I got selective hearing now. Sometimes it want to work, sometimes it just doesn't. Because I'm all night long. I'm listening to Stevie Nicks, Celine Dion, Tony Braxton. Like I blew them in my head.
Yeah,
I know every run, everything word for word. I could tell you.
man. That that song Dreams. Well, let me tell you,
Uh,
that that is on. Sometimes that song is on repeat
I'm
on my
telling you,
phone,
you get
and
stuck in it. And music to me is how I choose to change the world. That's my gift. You
mm,
know, um, I I feel a lot of people struggle with control issues, right?
always
You don't know what you can control in your life, so you try to control everything outside when only thing you can do is control who you are and what you do, right? But this is like a lifelong lesson that people are learning. They're 80 years old still learning this lesson.
yes they are.
And so I decided, because this was a lesson I learned early on, and I'm like, well, I can't change the world. I can't just tell people how to be. All I can do is be who I am and express my thoughts and who I am through music. And maybe I'll inspire somebody to feel better. Maybe, I can't tell somebody don't be depressed. But
Right.
I can sing a song to uplift your energy, and maybe you can match my energy, and maybe I can get you out there through inspiration. You know, so I feel like that's your way of helping the world, just by
It
simply
is.
being you.
It is. And I find, the funny thing about that, when you say that this is your way of contributing to the world at large, it's, and this is, I'm being very serious when I say I'm not going to pull any punches with this. You know, Besides yourself, there are so many other artists that are doing this. You're doing it on and all you guys are doing it on a macro level. I'm not going to say micro because that's way too small. A macro level, and it doesn't matter what you guys are singing about. It speaks to a lot of it speaks to people. Everyone's music speaks to somebody in some way, shape, or form. Um, it is a I never knew who Jelly Roll was until I heard this song he's had. Oh, we lost her. We lost her. We lost her. Oh my God, we lost her. Give us a second here. Um, so sorry about that, guys. We lost her. We're gonna wait a bit till she comes back. Um, while we're waiting for her to come back, I want to mention that there's this guy by the name of Jelly Roll. I never knew what his music. I've heard of the guy, heard a couple of his songs, but I never knew that his music had a message that spoke. There she is. Give us a second. I'm gonna let her video come back up.
I'm so sorry.
Ooh, you're fine. You're fine, my dear. You're okay.
My
So
my phone overheated.
yeah, you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with that.
Yeah. Okay, let's try this again. Okay.
Okay. While you're making adjustments.
Okay. You good? Everything good?
Yeah. So I was saying, like, music, your music, as well as in addition to everyone else's, this affects people on a macro level, not a micro, because it speaks to the things that we as individuals, as human beings, are going through and are experiencing. Um, I didn't know who Jelly Roll. I knew who Jelly Roll was, but then I heard a couple of his songs, and I was like, man, this dude's songs speak to a lot of what we do, a lot of what we do, a lot of what we go through. Now, I always ask my independent artists when they come here, does your music particularly speak about your own personal experiences, or do you kind of draw inspiration from another source?
Um, I would say all of the above. Um, a lot of my music is stemmed off of my own experiences. However, I'm an empath. So I'm able to tap into and feel what someone else is feeling when they're going through it,
Mm,
when I'm see it, when I'm around it. So I can, let's say a person is going through something but don't have the words to even describe what they're feeling or how they can come about it. Like I can give them the words that they can't even speak themselves.
got
And
you.
I can't tell you how, but I just can't. So I use this to write my music. And some of it is absolutely fairy tale.
Mm,
Some of it's just
got
made
you.
up in my head. Like I'm just imagination. Is everything okay?
Yeah. Hang on. I lost you for a second, but let's see.
Is everything
Hold on.
okay?
There we go. You're still here. You're still here with me, but so oh man, I lost her again. So one of the things I want to kind of mention as I was talking, and then and we're gonna chat. We'll chat a little bit while I wait for my guest to come back. Um, one of the things that I want to kind of make known and make notice of. Did she go? Did she overheat again?
Actually, I don't know. I think it's the internet, and that's the other thing about Indianapolis. I have to say, it's the worst when it comes to internet. They have a lot of blank spots.
I've noticed. I've noticed that. So one of the things I was gonna ask, because you said you're an empath and you write. If someone's feeling a specific way, a certain way, you'll feel that and you're right to that. Has anything you've ever written ever brought you to tears?
Oh yeah. Um. Yeah. A lot. A few. I won't say a lot. A few of them did. The ones I'll have to say are my own experiences.
Mm,
Um. Sometimes when I'm going through it in that moment, I'll write it, and then
mm,
when I hear it like the full production, or even like if I hear it in the studio, but I'm hearing my own words back at me, it can be very overwhelming. Yeah.
I see. Because you're hearing your own. You're hearing your own. I guess because you can equate it to hearing your own pain.
Yeah.
And know, wow,
And
that
sometimes you don't even realize when you're writing something that the words are coming out the way they are. Like it's almost like someone else is writing them for you. So and so when I hear back, it's like I'm telling my story. I'm telling myself how I'm feeling, and I'm healing myself through my own words. So it's really crazy. It's interesting to be a writer.
I know. I mean, I write books, so I mean, I most definitely get where you're coming from when it comes to that, especially when you've written songs that when you listen to them, they bring you to tears. I mean, I've written like had a book with a couple of emotionally charged scenes, and then when I read it back, I'm like, oh my goodness, that was emotionally charged, and
Yeah.
while I'm looking at it, I'm wiping tears from my like, oh wow, I actually wrote that.
Yeah.
And but then also when you look at it from the outward part of it, when people hear what you say, hear what you're singing, and they can resonate in their soul. It resonates within their soul, and they can relate and they can relate, and then it moves them. Brings them brings the same emotions that it brought you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know for me that I know
It's
for
all
me it's satisfying. It makes me feel good to know that something that I write is so profound on such a profound level that people can be
can
moved
feel
to
it.
that.
Yeah. It almost, so I sometimes I can even use my own emotions to a song as confirmation that someone else will feel the same. Because so often we think that what we're feeling is so isolated to us,
Mm-hmm.
and forgetting that you are 1 in 7 billion. You know, so out of 7 billion people, you're feeling, what if it's like 100 million people that's feeling exactly the way you're feeling at this moment? You know, and so what's bringing you to tears and clarity and healing could actually do that to 100,000 people. You know,
Yep.
that is why I do this. You know, that feeling right there, that's what I'm writing. That's my wave.
Man, and there's and like you mentioned earlier, like the music scene right now is so like this fast paced, and I guess I will ask this question because I really want to, because you've been out there, and you could also because you're an empath as well, but you also, I'm going to safely assume that you also take in the things around you and observe things. Do you feel that the music today as compared to back in the day, do you think today's music lacks an identity or a soul? Oh, did I lose you? And I lost her again. Oh boy. I lost her again, y'all. It's again crazy internet out there in Indiana. Um, I sincerely apologize, and I sincerely apologize for that. However, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get this right, man. We're gonna get this right.
Oh my God.
Internet issues, huh?
If I had a choice,
No,
it
no,
would
you're
be
good.
this way.
No, no, you're good. You're good. So I guess I ask the question again. Do you feel that today's music compared to music back in the day, do you feel it lacks an identity or soul?
Absolutely. But I can't say that out loud. I can't shade, and I don't want to shade anybody. In particular, I think I would shade the just what people allow in
Mm,
to the minds of others, you know. Um I think it dulls down even like the younger generation and what they expect out of music because of that.
mm,
You know, so when they hear something that is great and of depth, they're like, "Ugh, what is that?" You
yeah.
know. Yeah, they skip over it because they want to hear pow. Let me stop. They want to hear. They just want to hear
No,
noises.
go ahead. Come on. Hey, you can say what you gotta say on this platform. Trust me.
They want to hear things that make them laugh, things that sound good. They want to hear pow pow pow. You know, like they don't want to hear. They don't want to sit with themselves. I think that's what it is. I think that right, like because it's a fast pace.
Mm,
This newer generation lacks coping skills. So, like, they can't handle all of the emotions that we can or that we have to work through. They rather brush it aside, maybe lean it away, maybe alcohol it away, They try to drown out the things that we've had to deal with over the years because we didn't have all of the outlets that they have, you know. And I think that reflects in the music, their lack thereof coping skills.
Yeah,
If I
yeah,
can, if you get what I
yeah.
mean.
I do, and I would agree. I mean, because nowadays it's sex appeal, of course, and that's what's gonna what's gonna sell now in this day and age. But when I was growing up and stuff like that, there's you gotta have talent came before everything else.
That's what I miss. And that was me too, like in my generation. Well, I mean, we still like, we just became adults. We're living in
Yeah.
our adulthood now. And it's like back then it used to be artist development. I actually respected when you came on the radio. I knew it was some good stuff coming. It made me feel up. Like when we had 106 in Park, BZ, like we had
Hmm.
real entertainment, and real ways and platforms for artists to show their talent. Now
Right.
it's really, if you shake your butt on the gram, and you get enough followers, now you're an influencer. Now people come to you, and now you somebody. You know,
It's not
well,
as
it's
it
it's a
ain't about
circle of life, though, right? It's everything goes in full circle. So if the same way the sun's shining on that, it's gonna go back
yeah.
to artistry, and that's when I I will be there. I'll be
Be
there.
be right in the middle. Be right in the midst of that, huh?
It's happening right now. That's why I'm here. Because
It,
it's happening right now. Everybody's tired.
and I think and even me. I mean, and I grew like I'm a '70s baby that grew up in the '80s and '90s. So already I was exposed to all this great music. Um, Waking up on Saturday mornings to like the Barcades, the OJs, and like that's in the morning. Then coming through the '80s and listening to all the pop and rock stuff, like Rod Stewart, the Human League, Tears for Fears, and then matriculating, coming into the '90s where now now it's NWA, Public Enemy, De La Soul, and even again, and coming as I'm looking at the differences between when I grew up as to me being an adult, and there's a stark difference in the music. I find myself listening more of the stuff that I used to listen to than I listen to the
Oh,
stuff now.
let me tell you. Okay, so I remember thinking to like my dad. We used to always talk about my dad. Like
Mm.
he's stuck in the 60s. Earth, Wind and Fire. That is all he listened to. He tried to buy a Snoop Dogg album. We know you ain't listening to Snoop Dogg. You listening to Earth, Wind and Fire. You just thought that was cute. But I took that album. I listened to Snoop Dogg. But what I
Oh
mean to
yeah,
say is I understand now why he was stuck. Because I go back whenever I get pissed, whenever a new album come out, and I'm so upset because I'm an album girl. I'm not a playlist girl. I love albums. I will
vinyl.
open it like a gift wrap. Like I'll be excited. Come on, I start to finish. I'm zoomed in. Don't even talk to me until it's over. And so when I'm disappointed, I'll be like, let me go back to my old. Let me go back to what I know. What I know is good. You know, put on that original Drake. Take care. Make me feel better. You
There you
know.
go. I always ask the question, whatever happened to digging in the crates, man?
I'm telling you, that's me. I'll do it too quick. Too quick.
Whatever happened to digging in the crates? Because I mean,
But I will say I have to give this to Beyonce because her new album, I am in love with it. I am so satisfied with music when it came to this new album with her. And it shows me like she's the same. Like, she's not giving up on real music either. She may evolve as an artist and be able to dabble into so many different genres. She's evolution of music.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't waver good music. She just brings the new along on her journey of discovering herself in music. And so, I have to give my hand props. Shout out to Beyonce. You keep it alive for us girls who are just trying to make real music.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So, I mentioned I heard a tinge of frustration there when you talk when you talk about that. What have been your frustrations as an independent artist?
Oh, okay. So when I was like a teenager, some of the music that I wrote as a teenager is just now being recorded out now, which they're telling me is amazing, right?
Right.
Um, I used to get people who say, "Oh, no, that's too like old type of music. You need to write like this, do it like this." And they would, the things they would play and tell me to mock, I wouldn't listen to that. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't want to be around it. So I'm like, why would you want me? Nah, I'm good. I think I'm gonna do me. You know? I maintained, even though I evolved as well, I grew as an artist. I still kept who I was in my
Right.
artistry. And
Right.
because of that, that's why I'm knocking on these doors now, because they're like, wow, like, you're so unique and authentic and you're you. We can hear a song play and know it's you. Had I listened to other people tell me I need to be like this artist, I need to be like this artist, need I mind you, these artists that they wanted to be like me to be like were one hit wonders. They were just for radio play. You know, I think that was frustrating as an
Mm,
artist. But once I got into my footing, once I realized I didn't need to change, oh my gosh, I started attracting people who didn't want me to change.
right.
And once that happened, it just like my career went boom. Like, I just, the right people was in the room, the right people was molding me, telling me to move this way, move that way. And if I could give any artist, any independent artist advice, it would be, just don't write for yourself. Remember that you're writing for an audience. So, two, what makes you never change it. If you have a gift, that automatically guarantees that there's people on the earth that you have to give it to. That's the whole point. It wouldn't be a
Mm,
gift if it wasn't someone that needed it to be received. So that's your confirmation that you will be heard, you will be okay as long as you stick to you.
I like that. If you have a gift, you have an obligation to share it.
Absolutely. That's what it's
And
here for.
no better thing, no greater word said. And again, and basically what she said, ladies and gentlemen, if for those who are watching and listening, if you have a gift, whatever that gift is, you're you are obligated to share that with the world, or with the people in your circle, so that they can share that, so that they can share it out to other people in the world. I mean, God gives us these amazing gifts and these amazing talents, and why would we want to sit on those talents? Why we want to squander those talents? These are things that, like my sister here, she has a gift to sing. That is a gift that can be shared with the entire world on a macro level. You know, if you have the gift of writing, that can be shared to the world on a macro level.
Yeah.
Don't just limit it to the people around. Just don't limit it to your circle. Of course, your circle is going to if you have a solid circle, they'll
Right.
root. If you have a solid circle, they'll root for you and they'll push you and they'll encourage you. And when you acknowledge what I said, that could be a frustration, not having the right people in your circle.
That could be your blockage, you
That
know.
Like a shortstop.
The very people around you could be the very people holding you back from the very things that you need the most and that you want. And it's not their fault. They just can't see what you see. And you can't blame them for not seeing what you see or being able to shift to your, visions and what you're capable of creating. But that doesn't mean you have to keep them around either. You can
Ooh.
love people from a distance. You don't have to blame them. You don't have to hate them. You just need to shift, or
What?
you will be with them.
So yeah.
You'll
So
stay.
expound on that. Expound on the importance of being able to shift. Expound on that. You know, expound on the importance of being able to shift when you need to shift instead of just being stationary.
Okay, I love this scenario. It hit me so well, so I'm gonna bring it up. The
Hmm.
I got two phones.
Ah, I
I beat
got
them
you.
out this time. I got you now. They're not gonna play me. Okay.
Problem solved. Then.
Yeah. Got it. But what was I saying?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
kill that one.
How do I stop it? Oh, shit.
And I can't mute it on my end.
I didn't exited out the phone and everything. Okay, I kicked the phone out the car. Anyway, there we go.
That is very innovative.
And where there was a weird way.
Of course. So
Okay, so what was I talking about?
the importance
I,
of shifting.
okay, so when you have a plane, when you're getting on a plane, in order for you to get to your destination, you have to depart. So they call it departures.
Mm.
When you get on a train, you have to depart, right? And it's not a negative thing. So why do we see it as a negative thing when we have to depart from where we are to get to the next place? When you have a vision where you have something that you're striving for, that is a physical place where you need to be to get there. And so you need to depart from the place that you are currently.
Mm.
And if someone bought a plane ticket, that's great. If you have family members, friends, lovers who bought a plane ticket too, or pay bags, and they said, I'm coming too, they coming on their own accord, that's amazing.
Right.
But you got to leave people who don't have a plane ticket. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck too.
Oh yeah. Or better, or even better yet, realize that you're the one driving the bus, and everybody gonna be ain't gonna be on the bus when you ain't gonna be on the bus. They gonna get off at their designated stop.
I'm telling you, like, you have to literally shift in order to get somewhere else. You have to be something else. Your
No.
mind has to be something else, and that is scary. Some people will choose to stay where they at just to maintain the people around them.
No. Because we're beings that, the way I look at it, we're beings that are we're not stationary beings like that. I believe that we're not, because if that were the case, a lot of us would have we wouldn't have this thing called an imagination. We wouldn't have these things called thoughts if we were like that.
We're not supposed to be. We're not designed to sit still. like that's saying if you're not growing, you're dying. You're either, you're either expanding or you're declining. Like it's never just sitting still.
No.
So either
Always
you're
emotion.
growing as a person, you're learning, you're being open to life, you're changing. And if you feel like everything, there's nothing more to give you, then your ticket is getting punched. Like you're on your way out, because then life has nothing to give you.
See, and see, we're both, we have the same mindset, because I don't have everything figured out. And the moment I think I do, life is going to surprise me anyway. And like you said, the moment we have something figured out, we may as well just punch a ticket and tell God, hey, I'm ready.
Exactly. Like, oh, I guess you done, right? You don't have nothing else. Oh, okay.
You don't got nothing else for me?
It's so many lessons.
Oh,
it's so many lessons to learn here.
Oh, yeah. If you don't, you gotta learn them.
And you can see the people who have stopped receiving information. They're so stuck.
They made up their mind a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, those are
actually
just
you can.
Those are just closed people. Oh, there's
closed-minded people.
Right. I tell people stuff all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Man, look here. you learn something new every day. If you're not learning and you're not growing, then you're
dying.
Yeah, you're dying. And we're like you said, we're put on this earth to constantly learn and constantly be in motion. We're in motion even when we're sleeping, because our mind is moving, because we're dreaming. I mean, dreams are emotion to me.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're not. You just laying there. Yeah, you're laying there, but you don't realize that your eyes move when you sleep. They move back and forth when you sleep. You don't realize what do you think dreaming is?
I don't even think I'm here. Okay, you cannot wake me up. I'm like one of them dead people when I'm asleep. You can yell at me, a car could run into the house, and I'm still asleep because I'm not here. I'm a whole other dimension, experiencing a whole nother experience.
That's it. And I love it. I love it. So I got this song of yours that your manager was so very kind to give me, and I want to play this song now. It didn't have a video to it, so I kind of made one.
Oh, cool.
Hope you don't mind.
No, let me see.
So, and we're gonna talk about it for a bit. So the song I'm gonna play, ladies and gentlemen, is by this young lady by the name of NEF. The name of the song is called "I Was There," and we're gonna talk about it. But first, we're gonna listen to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm presenting to you my sister NEF and her song "I Was There." Enjoy.
A day that marks a different life. How could something so special come from something so broken? Thought I knew, but I never knew love. Something so demanding and yet so convincing that I'm worth love. First cry, first stare, first laugh, first step. I was there. First hug, first kiss, first dream, first nightmare. I was there. 12, 13. Started out afraid, but here you came easy, rushing to the big world. a moment. One day you'll be on your own. I know that you'll hold your own, but I promise you'll never be alone. First cry, first stare, first laugh, first step. I was there. First hug, first kiss, first dream, first nightmare. I was there. 7:31. The heavens opened up and there was you. Another version of a mirror. They send down another teacher. I will try to keep up, but I probably end up chasing. I'm here to walk you through your life. And when I'm gone, I'll watch you from the other side. First cry, first stare, first laugh, first step. I was there. First hug, first kiss, first dream, first nightmare. I was there. I was there. First cry, first stare, first laugh, first step. I was there. I was there. First hug, first kiss, first dream, first nightmare. I was there.
That I am not even gonna lie. That is a beautiful song. Now I
Thank you.
have my thoughts about what the topic of the song was or who it was talking about. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like maybe the birth of a child, and then you're kind of talking about that person's life from that birth to when they got ready to transition. I could be wrong.
So you started off right.
Okay.
When each verse is the beginning of a new birth. So 329 is my son.
Okay.
1213 is my middle child, my daughter, and 731 is my baby, the baby girl. So each one is a story about each child and how they have their own personalities. And like I was there to witness this, like my son. This funny you chose this song because that's the song that I cried, like boo-hooed cried. It was I was when I first came to Indianapolis, I was separated from my children because I had to buckle down and get into this music. My mom was like, I got you.
Right.
And so this was literally like the first time I've ever been without them. So I was super emotional, super, messed up about it. And my manager was like, write about it. Write it down. And so I wrote it down, and how it didn't come out in like pain. It came out in love and memories and, just remembering like how I felt, like I feeling unworthy of love, and then having a child validate who, like, you're worth all of this love that I'm giving you is powerful. Like, it is life-changing. You will die for this child, be a better person for this child.
Oh yeah.
And it just changes you. And so like, and it just goes through the stories, like my middle child, she's real quick. She came out quick. She's just like always moving to the next thing. And I'm just like, slow down, just you'll get there eventually,
Right.
and my baby, she's so independent where I'm just like, I'm gonna be chasing you. Like, I'm gonna be trying to go to college with you just to be near you because you're just so independent. You don't need me, which is amazing,
Right.
you know. But I need you.
Right.
You know?
But
So it's yeah.
I love that. I love the first verse, how, you know, and it speaks to what I think that one feeling that we all feel as parents. Um, how can something so small and so unprotected can be so precious to us, because this is something that we brought into this planet, and now that you look at this little life that you brought into the world, now you make these now you tell yourself that, look, I'm gonna protect this with everything that I have, and I'm gonna give everything I have to this person, to make sure that their quality of life is better than mine, and that
Yeah.
and that I can give them the tools that they need to survive or push through when I'm no longer here. So
That part. It's
that
it just it hits.
on so many levels. If you're a parent and you hear this song, you're gonna it takes you back to when it'll take you back to when your child was born. And then you think about those things those thoughts that you had when that child was born. And then you think about those dreams that you had when this child was born, and the promises that you made to this child when you held that child in your arms. You know, again,
Yes.
for me, that was the thing. Look, my firstborn son was March 9th, 1992, and again it brought me right back.
Wow.
It brought me right back, because I heard the song before. I listened to the song prior, and then when you mentioned your children being born, then I understood the reason. Then I understood it. So it brought me right back to that day that my son was born, and then it brought me in. And the second verse brought me right to when my daughter was born, and my middle child, and then my youngest child. I'm like, oh, but. And I said this to myself while this is on. You need to get up out of my head right now, because you paying rent up in there, so that's not you paying rent up in there. But I think,
Hey,
it's something that but it's like every parent has that thought. And if you're a parent and you say you didn't have those thoughts when your kids was born, I know for a fact that you're lying, because
yeah.
you can't say that when you held that little baby in your arms that you didn't have all these thoughts and all these things going through your head.
Are you good? Are you capable? You
Mm-hmm.
question yourself, am I enough? Am I enough for this journey? And your child, your baby reminds you you're enough. All I need is love.
Yep.
All I need is your love. And so it's like you have over expectations for yourself, or for
Mm-hmm.
what you think what they need, and sometimes they just need your attention or company.
Mm-hmm.
They just want you to see them as they are,
Yep.
or stuff like that. And it's crazy you said you were going through the exact same feelings. And I just remember playing this for my mom and my sister, she just burst into tears because
Mm.
she remembered what I've been through. She was with me when I went through these things. So it was
Right.
like,
And
sometimes I
all
get
those
emotional
first,
just thinking about it. Yeah. And
all those
it's like,
first.
even when no one else has seen it, no one, like, it wasn't on camera, it wasn't posted on Facebook. These moments happened and you were bear witness to them, and I don't need an audience to show me like my life. I don't need it.
Mm-mm. No, because you live it.
Yeah, it's good enough for me.
Yeah, you live it. I mean, And I most definitely can relate to that. You don't need we don't need anybody to look at our lives, because why? We're living it. We're living it live and in color.
Exactly.
The only thing that I really want is for somebody just to kind of see that, not necessarily see what I see, because perspective is a subjective thing anyway. But at least for a moment, look at it.
Step in your shoes.
Yeah, at least take a moment to look at it from how I look at it.
Yeah, I think that I have this thing where I always tell people, like, there's a cup and we all looking at the same cup, but everyone is looking at it from a different angle. So we see completely different versions of this cup. And you
Mhm.
can't tell me that my side is wrong. And I
No,
can't tell you that your side is wrong, because it is right. It is
yep,
right. It's just not your right,
exactly. Perspective is a thing.
and perspective. And I acknowledge, like, I used to want that so bad. Like, I remember arguments, things, you feel judged. You feel like, okay, well,
Mhm.
you would do it better than me, then show me how. Doing it in my shoes with my exact life, show me how I could have done it better, type of thing. And then I realized, like, all that energy, oh my gosh, I had to stop caring. I had to stop caring about
And see, but
validation.
if you think about it, if you put those people in your shoes and in your situations, I found out that I've learned that they will probably make the same choices.
They probably would. And on top of that, they might not do it as well as me, because I didn't have a lifetime of this shit. Excuse my language.
Nope, you're
Of
good.
being me, and I have mastered me. So you being in the shoes for one day of being me, you could not manage.
At all.
You
That's
could not.
that's why I don't say. I tell folks, look, I'm not you. And I don't want to be you.
It's too
I do
big,
want
too many.
I want to understand you, yes. But to be you,
That part.
no, 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 ma'am, no, sir.
I just look to understand, and that for me is easy. Others is hard.
Yeah.
Like, I can see so much, like, even in the worst of situations, I can identify, oh, but this is what happened. This person must have been thinking this. Like, I can just totally zoom in and like see the human element.
Yep.
But I
I tell
understand that so many people can't.
see what I tell folks is you got a better view from the inside than you do the outside. You can look at things better from you. And I tell folks, you have a better chance of viewing the house from the inside than you do the outside. Or you want to try to look at things from the, how did I put this to this person? I said you be better off sitting in the house looking at a window from the outside instead of trying to peek at a house, looking outside the window, looking in outside the window.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But what do you
You
mean by
know,
that? I said, because if you look out the window of your house, you can see everything kind of sort of within the confines of the mirror, within the confines of the window. No matter how big the window is, you're at least able to see everything in a
inside
in a
of it.
pseudo 180 view. If you look at it
Yeah.
from the outside, you're only limited to what's directly in front.
And the crazy part is, the person on the outside has a better opportunity of seeing the bright side than the person on the inside, and they don't even realize it. We people black, well, I won't say black, but just people in general tend to see the worst in other people, or you look to see the drama, you look to see like something wrong in the picture. You can have a perfect portrait, but people see the black dot. That was the one mess up, right? And it's like, if you could look in the window and you see two people standing there, you can literally draw of whatever you want, right?
Right.
Why not choose a great narrative where that leaves you feeling good? Because at the end of the day, your life for you is the number one priority, the same
Right.
as someone else's for them. I choose to see the rainbows and the cupcakes of life and the unicorns. Like, I choose to see life on a bright and through rose-colored lens.
Oh yeah.
Because what's the alternative? Me seeing it through
Doom and
a
gloom.
crappy lens and I feel like crap every day because I choose no. It's my
Nobody
life.
wants doom and gloom on 24/7, man. You know,
No.
you and you mentioned the rainbows. You know, I have this affinity for rainbows. I just the one I like what I like just looking at them when I can see them. You know, I live
I
here in
will
Georgia.
pull over.
Yeah, me too. I live in Georgia, so it rains, but you don't get those sun showers to where you can see a rainbow. You know, so but when it does happen, and I am able to see it, I'm gonna stand out there and I'm gonna enjoy that view for as long as that rainbow exists, because out of all the craziness in this world, that rainbow reminds me that something good does exist in this world.
Yeah,
And
absolute, man. People have told me like, oh, you moved to Indiana, it's a racist state, or things like that. And I'm like, that's your world. I'm
that ain't
sorry to
mine.
have to tell you, but I don't live in that world. And so it's not in my world. It really isn't. I live
No.
amongst so many different races. And I won't say that racism doesn't exist here, but it doesn't
Right.
exist in my world. So therefore, I won't experience it the way someone else who embraces it like it's their day to day, they invite it. So
Right.
it could be very well happening, but it's not affecting or, you know,
It ain't hitting your bottom line.
It's not in my bubble. No.
See, and the importance of, and I believe that with a lot with artists, with such as yourself and other ones, it's important to maintain that bubble. You know, it's important about what you let in, as just as important as what you let out.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Because
I even had to make sure I am conscious about my pen, because my creativity, like, used to write things and they happen.
right.
Not before, but after. And when they were things that I didn't want to happen, that I was writing about, I'm like, okay, something's telling me maybe I shouldn't write that. So it don't get that, I catch on.
Like, hold on, wait a minute. Let me not write that right now.
I don't like bumping my head too many times against the same board.
Oh no. Because after a while that hurt. After a while that hurts.
Exactly. And then I feel stupid. So I'm like, okay, how many times I'm gonna hit the same board? At least give me a new board to knock my head up against.
Or better yet, don't give me a board at all. Because I'd rather not bump my head.
I'm the new me will learn from other people's mistakes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Most definitely.
The new me don't have to go through it.
Because you've already experienced it, you've already seen it. You also already know what the consequences were, and the penance you had to pay for it.
And it's too great. It's too great.
And that's something that that's the other thought process that I had when I heard your song. It's about I think it's also about imparting what you've learned over the course of your lifetime to your children, so that way they don't repeat those mistakes. They don't repeat your errors.
Yeah, I mean, I try. I got one of them, the boy. He likes to, bump his head.
Well, we are a little bit more hard-headed.
I'm just hoping, one day he gonna say, okay, Mom, I'm gonna listen. I'm not gonna learn the hard way, but I'll be there for you when you bump your head. That's all I can do.
Well, I'll say the best lessons are learned when you stumble and fall, because now you gotta learn to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and try again, or to the very least say, Okay, I'm not gonna do that again because that made me stumble and fall. I don't like getting dirty.
Self-evaluation. I tell my daughter, you know, because she's the kind of person that um she reacts to the world,
Mm,
and she does things and doesn't understand her involvement in the outcome, if you get what I mean. Like, you did not understanding the part you played into your unhappy ending of the situation. And so I tell her, like, just always make that you're self-reflecting, or if you're not self-reflecting, you're self-destructing. It's one or the other. If you don't acknowledge your part in it, you're just gonna keep beating yourself up about it. And that's how people, you know, go on drugs and find ways to cope with things and can't handle stuff, because you can't sit with yourself. You have to reflect. How did
always.
I contribute to this situation? How can I make this better? Because this is my life. I chose this. I
Hmm.
am the orchestrator. I am you know, I'm the creator. I'm the God in my world. And
Yep.
so how can I make my life better? How can I learn from this where it doesn't happen again?
Again, and
So it's just,
what lesson needs to be imparted upon me?
yeah. And I'm not like this big guru, I mean, I probably am,
But
but I'm not this person who's completely got it all together, because Lord knows I
of
don't.
course not.
But I have to say, like, I think part of my road here was to learn many lessons over the course of my life, not just a few. So
Hmm.
at a age 16 through 20, I learned lessons that maybe took someone 30 to 40 years to learn,
Ooh,
you
Lord have
know.
mercy.
And so I'm like at a jump start course to life, and
Oh yeah.
things have just been hitting me and hitting me and hitting me and hitting me. And so I'm like full of experiences and full of life.
Everything.
And lessons. Yeah. And I mean, I got way more to go. I know I haven't got it all. And I can't wait to see what that next chapter is, because I stay a student to the game.
Always.
Gotta
If
be.
if you're not a student, if you look here, because I'd rather be the teacher rather than I would rather. It's cool to be a master, but I'd rather be someone. I'd rather be a student for some
I
strange
would
reason.
too. I would too. I think I think I like both. Like, I think I like that middle ground where I'm still like sitting there waiting to get my lessons, and then once I get my lesson, they'd be like, go tutor this person.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to tell you so I can help you get to where I am. I can't wait to share, you know, what I've learned. I feel like I'm a kid.
That's what's up, man. I like that. I love that. I love that. So there are two questions that I always ask people that when they come onto this platform. Um, the questions are they have importance, and it it reflects on who you are. The answers reflect on who you are as a person, but they're important because number one, it gives me an idea of kind of know who I'm speaking with, but also kind of gives the audience a little bit of more insight about who you are as well. The first question I want to ask you, you know, the first question as we conclude, number one, what do you want your legacy to be? Or what do you think about when you think of that word?
When I think of that, I think of the unlocked minds I could give or I could contribute to with my music. I feel like that's my legacy. Like, there's some little girl sitting in a room feeling lost,
Mm.
and my song is that one song that wakes her up, that makes her feel like she is in power of her own life, and I just bring her onto a whole nother wave. Like, that is what I'm my legacy. I feel like I want to be in those intimate moments with other people through my
Ah,
music.
ah.
And
you want to be in the midst of all that with your music.
yeah, because what music has done for me, it has really literally recorded my life. I can go anywhere. I can time travel. All I got to do is turn on a record, and it's real. I'm time traveling. And I'm recording other people's lives too when I sing, and when they put my record on, they can go back to that moment where they heard it. That is magic. I'm making magic. And so that's my legacy. I just want to make magic, and I want to inspire people, and I want my memories just to be of sweet essence and elevation.
I like that. That's a good legacy to have. That's a good legacy to leave behind. Now, the second
Thank you.
question that I want to ask you. So we all should look at life as not a sprint, but a marathon. And marathons have stages. First stage is the start, to where we're just coming out the gate and we're, beginning to catch our pace. Then you have the middle, and then you have the middle of the race, to where we're at our pace and we're going at that good pace, and we're going steadily. And then you also have the finish, to where the finish line is in sight, but you're not slowing down, and you're still going at that good pace, and the finish line is in sight. Now, looking at your life and also looking at your career, what stage of your marathon are you in? The start, the middle, or the end? Or close to the finish?
I would say I'm in between the start and the middle. I would say, because every time I get through to a new stage, it feels like a beginning all over again. So I don't know if I'll ever reach the end,
Gotcha.
I am nowhere near the middle, I guess. I believe maybe once I hit like a few milestones, accomplishments in my life, maybe I can feel like I'm at the middle.
Right.
But yeah, I'm definitely at the beginning.
Right. And I think all of us add up or come to a beginning when we're starting something new or something different. We're always at the beginning.
Life is all new. Like, you have to change your whole daily routine. Like, you have to change who you are. You got to look different. You got to think different. You got to act different when you're doing something. So it's like you're not even the old you anymore. So you're beginning all over.
Oh man, and I think people think that beginnings are always this dark place, and it's not. It really isn't.
No,
it's not.
That's because they looking at what they lost, or they looking at life like it's supposed to end. Like they only have so much time. That is a depressing way to look at things. If you really believe that this is your only life, and like there's an end to it, and there's nothing, like you as a person ends, that's depressing. I would be depressed too. But
yeah, not me, because this is just a physical. This is just a physical body. This is just a material thing.
It's an experience that your soul is having.
That's it.
And when you really, really believe that to the core of you, time slows down for you. It's not such a race anymore. It's not so scary to not be at these certain milestones that society tells you have to be, because you're not on someone else's time. It's like you take over your own time when you look at it differently. Just like, how women be like, oh, I'm unmarried. I'm 30.
No, man, look.
I can't, my life sucks because I don't have a man. It's like, what? You just had a man. Y'all just ended. You're starting your life over. If you want to have those moments, you have memories. Go back to that. But this is a new chapter. Discover your new chapter. Be happy where you are.
We should, and I think people forget the fact that we should live life in moments and not
Yeah.
the other way around. Life is of course life is meant to be enjoyed, in the full spectrum of it.
But
But
expecting it to be the way that your mind mapped it out, you are limiting yourself from how great it could be, because you can't even see how great it can be. Your mind is not meant to see how great it could be. It's only meant to project what you can think of, but it always definitely ends up being greater than what you can think of. The only reason why it doesn't is because you're holding on to what you think it's supposed to look at. Like, once you let that go, oh my gosh, that's where
mm,
the magic.
yeah, I love that. I love those two answers because I mean, and most people when I ask that the last question, it's either they'll say they're at the beginning or they're at the middle. Only one person mentioned that they were toward the end, but not the end of life, but the end of a that particular journey for them because they
Mm,
were transitioning from one thing to another thing. So
I get what you mean.
I can understand where they were coming from with that because when he said the end, I'm like, huh? And then he explained it to me like, oh, okay, I got you. You scared me for a minute there, brother.
Right, like, you
But
planning on checking out?
nah, because if you are, I'm keeping you on here. So don't you better not. Oh,
911. We need
exactly,
help.
exactly. So first, I want to say first, I want to thank you very much for being here tonight. Taking the time out of your Monday to be here and to spend a little time with us and hang out. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to let everybody know who you are, where they can find you, especially where they can find your music and all your social media handles and things of that nature. So right now, you got the floor. Go ahead and take it away.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It has been a ball. I loved this whole segment you had. Trailblazers, y'all, number one, A1. You can find me. You can always go to alwaysnef.com. That's where you find all my links to social medias and to my musical links. Spotify. You can go to Spotify to find me as well. But I mean, I'm everywhere. So thank you for giving me this platform to share myself. If you say, what could I share? I'm just a little candle in the sun. Just one little drop in the ocean, and I yearn to connect with
Mm,
everyone.
look, connection is the thing. Connection is always the thing, and I think as us as human beings need to do that more. And real connections, not just these fly by night connections, because those don't last very long. They really don't.
I'm telling you, the authentic moments I've had with strangers last lifetime. You never see that person again, but like, just I just want to help. I just want to be of service,
There you
however I
go.
can be.
I love that for you. And from us and from Trailblazer Radio to you, we wish you the very best in all your endeavors. So and if you want to come back for a repeat
Thank you.
performance, by all means, you the door is open.
Hey, as soon as you call me, let me know. I'll be
Got
there.
you. Got
Okay.
you. No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to everybody, independent music artist NEF. You can go check her out on her website. I'm going to put it up here again so you guys can check it out. It is alwaysnef.com/home. That's a website you can check it, and that's where you can always check out our social medias and everything of that nature. Also, check out our music on Spotify. Um, Also, if you have a chance to, um, if you didn't hear this particular song that we played earlier, trust me, and I'm good. When I upload the audio on Spotify, you're gonna hear it again. Um, I was there. This was that was a That song is a very profound song, and if you are a parent, it's gonna hit you in ways that you probably didn't even think you have probably forgot about. So
Oh,
I want you guys to take a listen to this, because again, music is something that we as human beings always can. It's one of those fallbacks. So where we can reflect, we can use music to reflect on a moment. We can use music to intensify the emotion of a moment, and we can use it to be reflective. But the one thing I think that music always does consistently is be a change agent. Whether it's pushing for equal rights and human rights, or whether it's like music of Bob Marley or anybody else that wrote or his contemporaries that wrote music in that time, or this young lady that we have in front of us, that writes music to have people feel and be connected to. Music has always been that one connection, I think, that always connects us as human beings. Doesn't matter where we're from, doesn't matter what our race, creed, gender, or anything. Music is one thing that connects, that always connects us. And when good music is heard, the connection is large and is huge. When good music is heard, the connection is huge. But when that good music has a message and a true voice, it's even better. And I most definitely want to commend this young lady for choosing to write music that is relatable to people, that can change hearts as well as minds. I know that is in some instances that is a huge ask. But for those of us who listen to music such as yours, we're appreciative.
oh. Well, thank you so much. That means a lot.
It is songs like that one and other artists such as yourself that pull people out of very hard times and very tough scrapes. I know this because there are some songs that I have in my rotation right now that if I'm feeling bad, I will listen to that song and boom, I'm right back to who I am again. So,
yeah,
sister, I thank you so very much for being that change, for wanting to taking up that mantle of being a change agent, for being that change agent. I know sometimes that's a rough road, but keep riding it. And whenever you want to come back and talk more about your music, or if you have some new music that you want to share with us, let me know, and we'll have you on.
Thank you.
You're so very
I'll be
welcome.
back.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, reintroducing to some, but introducing to a whole lot of others. This beautiful young lady here, Miss NEF. Again, you can check out our website, alwaysnef.com/home. That's where you check out all of her social medias and everything of that nature. Also, check out her music on Spotify. I guarantee you you will be moved. You'll also be inspired. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, that's going to end this episode of TrailBlazerz Radio with my beautiful guest, Miss NEF. And again, you can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on Facebook. You can also check us out on TikTok, to where I upload like snippets of these interviews. And I tell you, these guys that we have on these shows, they be dropping nuggets. So if you missed this one, it'll be on replay on Spotify. But yeah, so check us out there, and also check out this young lady on Spotify as well. On that note, I'm gonna leave you guys with these three things. Number 1, take care of each other. Number 2, be kind to each other. And number 3, we already know it's a crazy world out here. So please, above all things, please, just be safe out here. We love y'all to life. We love y'all to live. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
God bless.